Good morning, everyone. Today's the big day, the day of the grand finals of Roulette Rivals 9. And we're starting off with the console grand final between the buff guy and Phanium, the RR finalist against the RR8 champion. And I got an amazing roster of casters with me for this match. So please, everyone, welcome. First of all, Mando. Hey, Mando.
How's it going?
How's it going? Welcome. Next up, we got Gordy. How are you doing, buddy?
Good morning, how are we?
And last but not least, we got Mr. Joker. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How is everyone else?
I'm so excited for this matchup. Both matchups, really, but we're just going to solely focus on the console grand final here, guys. And what a matchup here. And these guys have history with each other as well from a previous tournament. If we start with Buff Guy, let's talk about him. Mando, what do you make of Buff Guy's performance so far this tournament and his road to the final?
Insane, and he's going to be out for blood. He's going to be, he's going to go in hard. That's what I'm predicting. But yeah, I mean, his run, I think, who's he knocked out? He's knocked out Ducker, I think. Did he knock out Joker as well? I know he's here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, six-time winner, one-time finalist. He's done incredibly well, and I have no reason to think that is going to dwindle at all. I think it's going to go in hard, and yeah, it'll be an amazing performance from him.
I was looking at the brackets because, Buff, he also knocked out Toby Nor and Soviet Jubov, but that's his only 4 games so far. Phanium, on the other hand, has had 7 in this tournament. That's a bit of a different route to that's a different route to the final, isn't it?
Of course, but that's always the case with someone coming from the winner bracket. But another detail to note is, like, on his way to the grand final, the buff guy only dropped 1 map. He only lost 1 map so far this tournament, and that was against Ducker.
Yeah,
the rest of the matches he just swept. So that's just insane, really. Especially when you look at the competition here. With like, since the start of this year, like the console guys have really been stepping it up. There's so much more competition, which is great to see. So yeah, we're expecting a lot from the buff guy coming in from the winner bracket. Joker, what do you make about his opponent, Phanium, and his road to the grand final?
Oh, he got the first game. He got swept in what is the quickest game in our history. You know, with Cricket and Dartmoor. So he got split, and then he's managed to go down to the winners lower bracket and not drop a single map in 6 games. He swept Reaper 47 4-0, Nezuko Chan 6-0, T-Nor 6-0, TK 6-0, Ducker 6-0, and myself 6-0. He's gone 17 maps unbeaten, which is pretty good going, especially in the lower bracket where there's more pressure than there is in the winners bracket. So
yeah,
he's been so impressive.
True. Yeah, that's absolutely insane, of course. So, of course, like the score don't always tell the whole story. Same goes with buff guy, of course. Like, just because you see a clean sweep of like 3-0 doesn't mean like it was super one-sided, of course. Like, especially with players of the caliber of like yourself and Ducker and T-Nord. Like, it's the little details that can decide the map, you know? Like, just the score itself doesn't tell the whole story. But yeah, like you said, especially with the pressure of dropping down to the loser bracket early, knowing that like every match could be your last, it's actually insane. So yeah, it's very well deserved. Gordy, I want to turn to you now for the next topic. What do you make of the map picks? It's first to 8, of course. Both finalists have selected 4 maps and banned the rest. If you go over them, what do you make of these picks, and do they make sense in your eyes?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to put Sapienza and Colorado in there because they're great maps, and Hokkaido too. You know, very pleased to see no one pick Mendoza or Haven. That's just GG's, guys. Already, you're champions in my hearts just for that. But yeah, Ambrose, Paris, Sapienza, Colorado, Bangkok. My OBS has crashed. That's what I was reading it off. Brilliant. But no, some very good picks there, and like I say, yeah, no Haven, happy Gordy.
And we see 5 season 1 maps here. That's
yes.
always that's also pretty interesting. 5 of the 6. The only one that didn't get picked is Marrakesh. Now, would you rank these guys as season 1 lovers, or is that their strongest season, or is this just coincidence?
I think it's just coincidence. I mean, Buff. I mean, he loves himself some Berlin, doesn't he? And he's quite a fan of Haven too, even with all its flaws. But yeah, picking Ambrose as well, the newest of the maps, feels pretty confident with that one. Of course, he is the videographer of the What is Roulette series, which has pretty much become a bible for any new player. Everybody uses them. But yeah, Phanium, I think he does prefer season 1. He's more of a season 1 man. But he's got a season 2 and a season 3 in there with Scale in Dubai. Honestly, with the caliber of these two though, and of course we were just going over their history in this tournament so far, I don't think it matters what map you drop them in; they're going to be quite comfortable.
I mean, that's a fair point, right? Like, both of these players made it to the grand finals, so we can't really speak about weaker maps, but we can speak about favorite maps, of course, and tactical choices. Buff Guy is known for being a lover of the Big 5 maps, and it is interesting to see that none of the Big 5 maps are chosen by him.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the biggest map there, well, most targets, shall we say, Colorado, was picked by Phanium.
Yeah, exactly. And Ambrose, to start off the grand final, that's actually pretty interesting to see the console grand final kick off with the newest map in the map pool, the map that everyone is obviously the least experienced in. That seems like a tactical pick here, don't you think, Mando?
Yeah, I mean, we know Buff's put in the hours learning Ambrose. I don't know. I can't speak for Phanium. I've not heard him talk much about Ambrose, but Buff has been very active in the community, trying to find the hardest spins possible so he can sort of pre-route them, I suppose, which I think has helped him tremendously in getting his map knowledge. I'm not going to say it's going to be a free win. I would never dare to say that, but from the knowledge I have, yeah, tactical pick from Buff, because he seems to know that map very, very well indeed. I was just looking at the map bans as well, since you were just talking about it there. Yeah, so I'm actually surprised we don't see a Berlin here. This is clearly, I think, Buff hoping not to experience previous trauma, because that is a map I was very much expecting to see, but it wasn't even banned, as it turns out. So I think he's got some Florida man PTSD. And that might be why we're not seeing that map. But yeah, I mean, Phanium, his bans Mumbai, Santa Fortuna, Haven, so he's banned at the very least 2, I would say, of Buff's stronger maps. Mumbai, he did actually hold the world record there until not long ago. And Santa Fortuna, obviously, he's a self-proclaimed lover of Santa Fortuna. But he might not pick that just because he doesn't like the Red Fox strat, as it were. But yeah, I think definitely some tactical choices from both of these guys here. Buff taking Bangkok as well, which isn't a surprise. He's one of the few players, I would say, who actively, say they like that map. It's not the most common map for people to enjoy, so that might be another one he's hoping to, I'm sure he's done plenty of practice on that map as well. So, yeah, I'm expecting good things.
Yeah, like another thing that just popped into my mind, like Phanium is also like really, really quick with the loadout phase, right? Which is a crucial part of the roulette skill set. So in that sense, it makes sense that he's going for the shorter maps in general, right? Because it's those maps where the planning makes the biggest impact. Like if you have like big maps like Santa Fortuna, Mumbai, and so on, Haven, then it's like it matters less, Like you can afford to like spend an extra 30 seconds on your planning phase here and still catch up if you have the better route. Whereas with like a Paris and especially Dubai, like those first 30 seconds can already make the difference there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you said, I mean, the console difference doesn't make a difference massively, I would say. But Phanium, obviously on the PlayStation 5, again, not surprised he's picked the quicker maps because with his, I am going to call it a skill because it very much is a skill. His skill of very, very quick pre-planning, with the addition of quick load times, it's going to look really, really good for him. And yeah, I'm not saying the loading times are going to matter too much. I mean, Buff, we know, likes to comment, let's say. But yeah, I don't think that'll make a difference. I think it is going to come down to Phanium's insane abilities of pre-planning, because I've seen that guy get prepped in a map in like less than by the time I've even finished reading the spin, he's already playing, which is just insane to me.
Yeah, and of course we have the photo finish system in place to counter the loading times. As for the Haven ban, do you think the fact that for console the Haven wall hacks still aren't fixed, did that play into the decision to get it banned? What do you think here, Joker?
Of course, we see on PC, it's a favourable map now with the wall hacks being a thing. Of course, it is Fame's last ban, so you would argue it doesn't matter as much. Of course, he did pick it in his previous games. So it's definitely not a map that he's not comfortable on. If I would go as far as to say it is actually one of his favourite maps. He is a player that does favour the Big Five heavily, but Buff, he's just solid on every Big Five map. There's not a map that Buff is not comfortable on in the Big Five, so it's surprising not to see them more, of course, as Mando's already said. But yeah, I do think that Haven, the wall hacks not being fixed, might edge towards that. I can't remember who we saw. I think it was like Hitman had like a rip from doing like Tyson Fallen Object a 15 odd minutes into his run because of that, because of the wall hacks weren't being fixed yet, and he just had a guard found in a bathroom somewhere. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's hard to speculate why Fame has banned it, because again, I say that he is one of his more comfortable maps. He can fly through it and do any spin on it, of course. But it just might be just to stop that final pick coming from Buff being a map that he's so comfortable on, of course, because what Hokkaido is going to be played when it's 6-6. Like, you don't want that to be going into a Haven just because of how bad the rip should happen. You don't want that wall hack to happen when it's 6-6 and your opponent can finish any time. So I think that might actually, the wall hacks not being fixed, is probably the more contributing factor to Haven being banned.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Gordy, is there any map that isn't in the 8 that are picked that you're surprised about? Like, is there a map that you would have expected to see from one of these players here?
Honestly, again, Berlin, but then Mando kind of covered that with the Florida man. Shenanigans from the last final Buff was in. Probably got a bit of PTSD about that. We know Buff does love that map, but if you can't trust Nicholas Valmarez, then who can you trust, really? No, again, going through the ban maps there, Dartmoor, Mumbai, New York, the very, very short maps out already. Mumbai obviously not being that short. No, I mean, you think with the final being, you've got a lot more maps than you would normally have in a match. There's only 19. I should know this, really, shouldn't I?
That's 18. That's 18.
18. There we go.
Yeah.
Maths is hard, yeah. Yeah. So there's only 18 maps to pick from anyway. Yeah, some are going to get left out, and I don't think it's a surprise. I think it's just the nature of the structure of the match. It's yeah, some are just going to slip through the cracks. But the match we got, yeah, I'd say that looks for a good game of roulette.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. Another interesting fact is, like, no matter the outcome of this grand final, both players have already secured themselves a top seed spot for the World Championship coming later this year. So in that regard, these two players won't face each other in the group phase, but yeah, they do have quite some experience with each other already. I mean, they've kind of been dominating the Roulette Rival tournament so far this year, wouldn't you say, Mando?
I'll be honest. Can you repeat the question? Because I was doing my admin work. Sorry.
I said both of these players have kind of been dominating this year so far, alongside Joker and Docker. It's like these 4 names have been kind of been on top on console this year.
Yeah, annoyingly standout is what I would say. They're all too good, man. Honestly, I mean, what have we seen? Phanium, I think Joker said 17 map win streak. That is just absurd. Buff, super dominant, as you said, dropped just 1 map so far. Even the other runs from Docker and Joker themselves, be it the upper or lower bracket, they've just all been absolutely cracked. I don't like it. They're all too good.
I mean,
I kind of like this is what makes
it,
me scared of the RRWC, right? You know, I mean, I got to get my game up.
Yeah, but it also makes me excited for it, right? Like, I really love all the new blood that came in this year, or like by the end of RRWC. Like Buff Guy maybe came 1 tourney before that, but like the players with like Joker and Phanium added to the roster of the console, it's like it's just super stacked. Whereas in the past, let's say Ducker, our 6-time champion, had a relatively easier time than now, as you can see by these last 2 tournaments, where like even a player of the caliber of Ducker, which I consider overall probably still the best RR players, definitely in terms of titles, and he didn't make it to the grand final. Like, that's how tough the competition is at the moment. And it's just awesome to see, right?
I think part of it is almost in a way like due to maybe like not so much a meta change, but I don't know if anyone else will agree here, but I feel like I'm the kind of player similar to Ducker where I think I play sort of less speedy and more safe, and I think we're starting to see that change over where you're seeing people like Phanium and Joker who just take these wacky strats and just don't rip on them. It's infuriating. And yeah, this new meta of being just crazy quick is working out super, super well. And yeah, the skill ceiling has just gone through the roof. It's amazing to see, it really is.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah, it's also so hard to predict between these guys. Like, yeah, what can you say? It's Buff Guy has been performing, as we mentioned at the beginning of this cast. Like, he only dropped a single map so far. That's actually insane when you look at the competition. And the same can be said for Phanium. As soon as he lost and dropped down, he's just been straight up killing the brackets. And yeah, how do you stop it? It's like an unmovable object facing an unstoppable force here in the grand final.
Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt about that. And there's absolutely nothing to suggest any kind of quality decline from either of these guys. So yeah, hopefully we should be in for a cracking time. And I've also just seen a little comment about Phanium's internet. Apparently that might be fixed. Just saying, you heard it here first.
Yeah, he did mention it. It won't be a PowerPoint presentation anymore, which is a relief for the viewers and the casters and the admins, of course. That makes it much more enjoyable. And we do see we have Mando is on admin duties for this grand final, guys. And we do just see that the timer has went live. We're a little over 10 minutes away from the first map. And yeah, I honestly can't wait. It's the first grand final of the day. The PC grand final will be at 8 p.m. Central Europe summertime, which is another banger of the match. But yeah, this is... I honestly can't wait. It's so hard to call here. Is there... I got another question for Gordy here. Is there any map that you're looking forward to the most out of these 8 between these two? Like the map that you feel is going to be the closest?
Colorado. Always Colorado. Answer to any question, Colorado. I think it's a super competitive map anyway, and I love to see 2 good players play that map. It's a real sort of proving ground, isn't it? You know, it has its wrinkles, of course, because you've got a couple of really spicy disguises if they pop up in a spin, Suit and Scarecrow. But that's the one I'm most looking forward to is Colorado, and luckily Joker and I have managed to get that one out the hat. So looking forward to casting that one.
Yeah, speaking of, to just give the guys in the chat an overview. The first 2 maps will be covered by Mando and me. The next 2 maps will be shoutcasted by the lovely duo of Gordy and Joker.
In it.
What a couple. Then map 5 and 6 we switch back to Mando and me. If it comes to that, map 7 and 8, it's Joker and Gordy again. So nice mix and matchup here. It's I honestly can't wait, guys. It's less than 9 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just here to represent the UK. Dominating this cast right here.
Yeah.
in it, bruv.
What go on and stuff, isn't it?
Exactly right.
Calm down, guys.
Makes you proud, doesn't it? Oh, warms the couples.
But
I've actually just had a quick look. As I was just going to quickly say the stats here. I don't think have fully been updated, but we have actually technically got stats actually that I wanted to just say. Buff actually, this is his pick, but he hasn't actually played this yet in RR9. Phanium has actually been here once though, and he did win on that occasion. And that was against T-Naught, so not exactly, sort of low-end competition, I guess, is the friendliest way I can word that. So to beat T-Naught on this map is pretty insane, right?
What was the map that Phanium dropped to Ducker? Do we know?
I can.
You mean buff guy, right? To Ducker.
Oh right, yes, of course. Phanium didn't drop a map to Ducker, did he?
It was Berlin.
It was Berlin. There you go.
And drew Dartmoor that game, so can understand why the bans like that have come into place. Of course, I know Buff is not a fan of Dartmoor at all, despises it. And he said to me that whoever he was playing, whether it be me, Ducker, or Phanium, that was going to be his first map ban, just because of how much he purely hates it. So not surprised to see that come through as a ban at all.
A lot of strong feelings on Dartmoor in the community, isn't there? It's kind of split. It's very down the middle. Some people want it gone completely. Some people think it's a great speedrunning map. And I am not going to touch that conversation with a barge pole. Because, you know me, guys, I don't like controversy.
Smart man.
Yeah. I stay away from it at all costs. But a lot of photo finishes this tournament as well. Hopefully, for Mando's sake, it being very early here in the UK, that you don't get too much. You don't have to get your calculator out too much today, mate.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is he won't be alone if it comes to that. And most of the shorter maps won't be played, like Dartmoor and New York. I'd say the 2 maps that are most prone to photo finish in general.
We got Dubai as well. Dubai is definitely a potential, but yeah, definitely not the same, I would say, as Dartmoor or New York. But that's the one I'm worried about if we get that far. But I think that is the very last map, so there'll be enough pressure on that photo finish anyway if we get there.
Yeah.
Good news is the good news is both our boys are live as well, so we do have 2 competitors actually here, so that's good. We don't have another time zone issue or anything like that.
No, I even double-checked with them yesterday. Even triple-checked with them. Are you absolutely sure that you are aware that the match is in 19 hours? Just to be absolutely sure, because we don't want to be here with a chat full of people and then, oh wait, I thought it was in 4 hours. That's the last thing we want.
I was just thinking Mid's Ghost Mode tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was another message from Fro. Are you guys aware that it's 18 hours now? Okay, you guys aware that it's 17 hours now? 16? 15?
Exactly.
Look, dude, I'm trying to sleep. Come on.
All right, guys. We are less than 5 minutes away. I would kindly ask Joker and Gordy to step down for now, and we'll see you guys back for map 3, where you will take over.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Yes. And yeah, Mando, Ambrose.
Yeah, looking forward to it. My knowledge here isn't even amazing, and yet I'm still hyped for it because I've seen enough matches this tournament that I know what we can expect. And yeah, with the knowledge I know Buff has from his, I mean, obviously he's already got the video out for this, or a video. I think he might be making another one after the tournament with some updates, but he's already managed to get enough knowledge to get a video made on this map. So I'm expecting big things. And as I said, Phanium's already been here and won here, so he clearly knows what he's doing, so it should be good.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's the first map of the first tournament where we have this map, obviously. So no one is super experienced here in terms of tournament matches. We do have a lot of players, like you mentioned, that practiced it a lot already. Of course, Buff Guy with the series, and we got a bunch of other players that put a lot of time in this already. Overall, in general, it doesn't seem a map that is taking too long to learn in terms of roulette, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the very few maps where we have, currently anyway, obviously it is the first time we're seeing it, but currently there's no banned conditions, and there doesn't seem to be much to suggest that we need anything. Which, I'll be honest, I really like to see. There's not very many maps that are like that across the board. I can only think of 2 or 3 maybe, where everything's allowed for both targets. So, yeah, so far I'm quite liking Ambrose. It's a good map. I wish it had a few more disguises, don't get me wrong, but I think it still works pretty damn well with what we got.
Yeah, it could definitely be a very interesting map for Roulette. And yeah, to see it in the grand final is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, well, it clearly shows some love for the map, right?
Yeah, or just simply a tactical choice. Thinking your opponent, well, it's a new map. He can be as experienced as the Hitman 2, Season 2 or Season 1 maps. So I'll just pick this and just hope for the best. I'm confident that I practiced it more. Whereas with the older maps, the amount of practice is, pretty much the same, right? For most players.
Yeah. I just realised as well, obviously we knew we were getting map records for this in RR9, but 443, I mean, that's already such a good record on this map, because from what I can tell, most spins are going to be somewhere around the 4-minute mark, from what I understand anyway, so I'd love to see something beat that. Grand final, world records, yes please.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't count it out. And just in general, with each tournament, we see records getting broken, which is always awesome to see. It's also, of course, always spin dependent. No matter how good you are, but if you get a long spin, there's just no shot. And also in my eyes, it's secondary, right? Sure, getting the record on the map is awesome. You can feel proud.
The win is far more important.
It's all about the win here. It's really all about the win. But 443 by 420 is already a pretty great benchmark, I would say.
Yeah, I've actually just had a quick look as well. I didn't realise how many records have been set during RR9. I think if I include Ambrose, which obviously is a guarantee, well, mate, we are way more than that now. We've had a new Paris. We've had another Hokkaido, because we've managed to get a third 325 tie. Because that's how that works. We've had Mumbai, we've had Whittleton Creek. We've had Dartmoor, we've had Berlin, we've had Chongqing, we've had Ambrose. I think that makes 8 if you include Ambrose, which obviously you sort of can't really. But even still, 7 world records during RR9. That just shows the quality we're working with now.
Yeah, that is insane. And here we go, guys. We're only 10 seconds away from the first spin. Good luck to both players. The pressure must be insane. And here we go. I'll take the first one here, Mando. So, we're starting off. Oh, that's already interesting. Null Crest, killed by fire as the metalworker. And we got Akka, Loud Pistol, as the pirate. Speaking of wrecky spins, I'm not super experienced on this map. I gotta admit, but this seems really fast.
Yeah, I mean, Phanium seems to think so as well. He's in within 20 seconds. Which, yeah, pretty much what I was expecting. I'm guessing we'll see a quick Molotov. I know, because he's actually gone for a suit start. Interesting.
Yeah, we do see a suit start here, and even a Seeker, which is interesting for a fire kill.
Yeah, so this might be just him knowing, maybe not too experienced with this map, knows one fairly safe plan and is doing that. We can see he's doing the Semtex throw. Someone will pick that up in, like, I think, is it about 90 seconds or so, and they will take that over to the satellite.
Yeah, it's the 420 delivery, which most players embraced. Of course, you just don't want to deal with it yourself. You don't want to go in there. It's just... But yeah, again, we see like a 40 seconds difference in terms of the loadout phase, Mando, which we talked about before. Like, Phanium is so quick. Buff Guy took 40 seconds longer. And we do see a difference in starting location here, where Buff Guy opted to start as the metal worker, and he's going for the peekaboo, as some players labeled it. It's the peekaboo for Akka straight away, started by Mu here, and that does allow for a quick isolation for Akka here, but it is a loud kill here. So I'm curious to see how he handles that.
Yeah, it's a quick pirate as well, because he will need that disguise. So, there's a crate in here, so he can just do the kill in here and then go. Ooh, this could be quick from Buff.
That solves it. Meanwhile, we have Phanium on the other side, who knocked out Null Crest already and changed it to militia outfit. He smuggled a loud pistol by the looks of it.
Yeah, he brought a striker in just for extra, just because why not? I think Buff might have smuggled in a loud pistol as well. Is there not too many on this map? He's gone for the normal striker.
I'm not entirely sure, because like most of the guards seems to all be wearing large weapons, no?
Yeah,
like shotguns, assault rifles.
Yeah, I was going to say loud assault rifles, loud shotguns does seem to be the norm here.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're not sure, you just smuggle it, right? You don't want to be running around the map for minutes. I can say that from experience here.
Yeah, we're seeing, there you go, chat, one loud pistol, and it's all the way in, two apparently. One of them in the cave, and the dude near the radio tower, according to Arnav, which is actually where Buff is right now, but he's got his loud kill done anyway. He's left a trank body outside as well, which actually buys him a little bit more time to get back into his metalworker and run away.
Yeah, he didn't want to risk that guard running in too quickly, because he also needed to change the disguise. So yeah, that's the first kill down here, and he is picking up this Molotov, and that was he got spotted. That is illegal here. Oh, and that's another loadout choice there, right, Mando? Like, do you bring the Molotov yourself, or do you pick it up? And it's illegal, and it can be scary. And, it did look like...
very close placement from Phanium there as well. Is that going to be an explosive kill? I don't know how the breaches work. Does that only do fire?
Well, we'll have to see. It is interesting that he didn't just throw it there. It looks like he wants to just keep it for the exit kill. But yeah, it seemed like to me like Buff was in the lead there. He was in the metal worker disguise. He just needed the fire kill on Null, and
he's just had a restart. But I didn't see what happened there. Did Buff rip?
He missed the peekaboo the second time.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So is Buff going to grab the Molotov while he's here now? He may as well get it right at the start. Or I suppose that might make it a bit tough to get the peekaboo. But he might want to grab that straight away this time.
And we did just see Phanium trigger the demolition block, which took care of the satellite unit. So that's done already. He is waiting for Akka here to get to the cell with Agent Smith. So like same spot as where Buff took her out. Just a different order here.
Yeah, and again, that brings the pirate over to him as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, the pirates are all over the island, right?
Yeah, I mean, still less travel time. I mean, there is one out the door that we can see there anyway, but, you know, yeah, it could be good here. I mean, he's got the disguise now. He's got the weapon. He's seeked that guard to make him leave.
Yeah, but...
yeah. Shuffling his disguises so that he can get the metal worker safely.
I always love to see that. A little setup just to ensure your escape here. But yeah, we will be 5 minutes in, by the way, and Phanium still didn't have a kill. That's quite interesting. He does have the first kill here now. Boxes her straight away. Will change the skies. And now, yeah, now we have to pay attention to this kill. Did he place the breacher too close to him?
And this is going to be tough to admin if he does do this on exit as well, because if I need to sort of see the old accident prompt.
Yeah, we're paying close attention, but yeah, it does seem to be all in Phanium's hand here.
Oh, explosion kill! Explosion kill!
Yeah, that's wrong. You need to inform him.
He's restarted straight away on his own.
He knew it. He saw it already.
Oh, God.
That's also a little detail there. I gotta give props to Phanium there, like paying the attention to that, like not wasting any time, not like pressing done and waiting and then like, why didn't it get accepted? Is it photo finish? And then seeing the message right, wait, wrong kill. No, he was aware straight away. And that might seem obvious, but in the heat of the moment, but that easily saves you like, 20 seconds, which just can be crucial here. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm really impressed with his ability to. I mean, when I'm playing in a roulette match, to notice those little messages, I barely even pay attention to them. So the fact that he was self-aware to that is super cool to me.
Yeah, like really I said, that's super impressive. So yeah, both players now had a big rip. We did have Buff Guy has done the Akka kill already. He is. Getting ready to also do the bomb delivery here, by the looks of it. He's going to go into the cave here, even drop it a bit further.
He's going to throw it directly to these militia elites here. It's a little bit quicker.
And he's using, that's interesting, using the Serpent's Tongue here, instead of the standard demo block that we're seeing.
Why not, I suppose? The thing he's got to be careful is now, I hope he knows that timing of, when that will be safely delivered from that guy, because he doesn't want to get an NTK, but he might just be extra safe and just do that on exit. Should be more than enough time.
Yeah, I'm sure he's experienced enough by now. So yeah, that completely turned it around again. Like, Buff was initially in the lead by, from what I could tell, really. Like, I like his route better, but and then the big rip, of course, when picking up the Molotov.
Yeah, and I kind of like what he's doing here, actually. He's jurying both of Noel's guards, and he's actually distracting him into this little shed here, so he can just throw a Molotov in here. He's going to knock him out first. Make sure he can get enough distance on the... He'll want to make sure he has enough distance before he throws that Molotov, because he doesn't want an explosive kill.
Yeah, exactly. Also needs to have a...
kill.
Yeah. He needs to make sure he doesn't kill himself, of course, as well. And yeah, that is a fire kill. That is legit for Buff. And now the only scary thing is with all the pressure...
NTKs.
Yeah. Also because he must be thinking Phanium can finish any second now, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%.
Scary moment here. And you also got this NPC here, which can be scary as well. We've seen a rip already this tournament, when people try to go for the ski.
Oh, sorry, I think I'm a bit ahead, so spoilerinos, but...
No! We jinxed it. We called it.
Existence is pain. Oh my god, I'm going to have to delay myself reacting, but oh my god.
Unbelievable.
This is grand final nerves right here.
Yeah, exactly it is. And exactly, it's the fact just knowing, like, he's thinking about Phanium too much here, I'd say. You should not, how hard it is, you should not let that affect your decisions, I mean, it's easy to say because it happens to all of us, but that's just clearly a moment of like, no, he's gonna finish any second. I need to detonate it now.
Oh, I can't. I'm literally like, that's just so crazy to me. I literally can't believe that's just happened.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, as you said, it is literally Phanium is in his head basically. He's thinking he's going to finish any second now. He's going to finish any second now, and then, oh, Buff. It was looking so good as well. Had everything done. Everything was so well timed. I mean, it's still far from over. I mean, we've seen, anything can happen here. I mean, I think Phanium has been a little bit more careful with his Molotov and Breacher placement.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about this grand final, of course, it's first to 8 points. So, of course, it's nice to start off with a win, right? Start with a little lead. But it's also so chill knowing, like, you can lose the first map and there's no problem. Like, there's even not that much pressure in the sense, like, even if you go down 4-0, you still got a lot of chances to come back, right? Compared to first to 6 matches, where after 2 maps you can be down on match point already.
Yeah, for sure. It gives you more opportunities to play your own comfort maps, the maps you've chosen as well, where you should feel your strongest, so...
Yeah, and also gives you a lot of time to get over it, right? Like, this is a moment that could easily get stuck in your head in Buff case. Like, I should have had this. I fucked this up, But, like, there are so many maps that exactly. You can get over it. You have the time to get over it.
Yeah, and why is Buff's gone back into his pirate? Oh, it's just to get his Molotov, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to rip there again. But yeah, Phanium, again with the setup, and I'm sure he's more careful now with the breacher placement. That's not gonna happen to him twice. He has the satellite device down. He has the Akka kill down. He's in the metalworker disguise. Has set up the Molotov with the breacher. And surely this is not gonna happen to him twice, right?
Accident kill, yeah, it looks good. That is one little spoilerino, and I can
and we see
I can confirm that one straight away.
We do see another rip for Buff. Oh, but what a beginning here. Let me pay out the predictions. I mean, it's a feel bad for Buff there, but like for us neutral viewers, right? Like, this is the kind of start we want to see for a grand final, right? It just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. It was anyone's game, and I hope that trend continues for the rest of the maps. What do you say, Mando?
Yeah, I mean, I almost wish Buff knew how close that was, just so he doesn't feel... he does get frustrated, let's say. I think that's not a hidden bit of information. But I hope he knows how close that actually was and how close he was to taking his own map there, just so he doesn't sort of go on this downhill slope. Cause
you can tell, right, by the time that Phanium finished, it was like minutes after that. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I did pay out the prediction, and the new one will be up right now, and we will be traveling to Paris, chosen by Phanium.
Yeah, I mean, Phanium apparently has no stats here, but I'm guessing that is just failing to collect, because he's actually been here twice, according to RR stats. He's played twice, won twice.
He had to create a new Discord account.
I see. Okay. That does make more sense. So let me go and let's see if I can track back his Paris wins. I'm sure I can probably find them somewhere. Maybe. He beat Docker on Paris, and Docker actually chose Paris. So that's already a pretty good start for your old stats page. I can't find the second one, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Oh, it was against Joe the Baby Grabber in RR7.
The guy with the best nickname ever.
Yes, very much so, yeah. Yeah, Paris is a map. I'm not sure Buff is actually. I'm not sure Buff is actually the biggest lover of Paris. I mean, his stats are it's not quite 50-50, but it's not a million miles off. But I think he has said it's not his favourite map in the world, just because it's a map that most people are comfortable on. I think he prefers them, the big maps and stuff for that reason. Not everyone feels confident on them, and he does.
He really loves Paris. But he does acknowledge that he needs to work on his Paris game itself. So, like, in terms of just enjoying and loving the map, he really thinks Paris is a great map, which it is, obviously. But he's not super confident on it. But yeah, again, Mando, to go back to Ambrose Island, it is the start that we kind of want to see. Of course, we never want to see see players rip in a painful way, of course. But like just the tension and the back and forth, and it was anyone's game really. And again,
yeah, I mean it was two rips directly at the exit. It's just so tense.
Yeah, and yeah, I hope it continues. I really hope we see this for every map. And we can see Buff losing his mind, rightfully so, still about that Ambrose. I can blame him. I would be the same. But yeah, as I said, he needs to get over this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen in the Discord Danny saying literally like 10-ish more seconds and he probably would have been fine. I'm guessing Danny must know the timings of how long it takes that guy to take that and, walk away from it. So 10 seconds was all that was for Buff. But obviously, in the moment, 10 seconds in a roulette spin, that's an eternity, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I did learn myself. Like, I just pay attention to my inventory as soon as the detonator becomes available again, because that's the sign that the guard has delivered it, right? And from that moment on, I wait 10 seconds. I've heard some players say, like, 10 seconds is too long. You can make it shorter, but
yeah,
I just don't want to risk it.
Yeah, it's super scary.
But yeah, also it's especially the grand final. It's also about endurance and about it's a mental game as well. The mental component is can be underestimated here. Like the pressure, staying focused for so long. And yeah, I hope these guys can turn it around. And looks like Phanium is pulling a Phanium here. Or it's just
stream's been a bit intermittent for me as well.
But it is much better already. I gotta give him credit for that. And yeah, the Paris spin is arriving. Mando, it's your turn.
Yeah, we have Viktor Novikov, Falling Object as Helmut Kruger, Dalia Margolis, Drowning as the Sheikh. I'm not going to say his full name. Salman Al-Ghazali. Actually, I'll say it. It's far easier than I thought it would be.
I mean, you must have heard the line Al Ghazali a million times, right?
Yeah, I've loaded into Dubai before. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad a spin actually. I mean, Sheikh obviously fully legal to go upstairs.
No, this is
to do that drowning kill.
This isn't bad at all, and this tech start.
Tech start, you can get Novikov underneath a falling object and just sort of leave a breacher there because it's not a super loadout heavy spin.
Yeah, and we do. Actually, this time around, like they loaded in pretty equally. Of course, Phanium with the new gen loading way quicker, but and we do see another replan from Buff. But yeah, Phanium had the same, so they both weren't happy with their initial loadout choices. Maybe done it a little too quick.
Yeah, and Phanium, this is exactly what I was thinking. I mean, he's left the camera up, which is a little bit scary. There we go. Yeah, you can leave him in this room with a perfect falling object opportunity right here, because there is a winch in here as well. Yeah, you're gonna want the fireworks anyway, right? To get Helmut.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the falling objects with the winch are the best, where you can just actually set it up. So you don't have to come back for them. But it looks like Phanium didn't bring a breacher, and he will be going back for him. So that's a little bit of a time loss here, provided that Buff did bring a breacher here. So again, I want to say, going back to Ambrose here, Mando, I do feel like Buff guy had the quickest threat, the better threat there. And again, just purely based on this so far, again, this is just more optimized. This is quicker. There's no need to go back.
if he gets the shake while he's up here, he can literally go out, get Helmut, trigger this breacher, and swap straight back into his shake and, get ready to get upstairs.
Exactly.
Cuts half of his running time down, although he's not going to get the shake while he's here, actually.
No, I know why. Because he triggered the firework for Victor, right? And the fireworks will only last for 90 seconds, so he's on a timer to get Helmut. And you don't want to get him without the fireworks, because there's just too many eyes around. It's just...
I think that might be part of like where I think Phanium did it, so maybe it's a little bit easier for some, but I know this is where, like, in particular, a PC advantage, like I don't need to deploy those fireworks straight away, like you can just do that pistol distraction to get him back in here. Or to get him back, like, in the, I don't even know what you call it, like the upper walkway part. You can just shoot like a pistol shot and you can bring him back in without the need to deploy those fireworks, so you can keep that remote in your inventory for when you need it.
Exactly. But yeah, this is now the interesting part, right? Because Phanium didn't get Helmut yet.
No, but he does have the fireworks in his inventory still, because he did that pistol shot I was talking about. So this is literally like we're seeing two exactly opposite strats basically now.
Yeah.
Which, I'll be honest, I always love to see. I love it when people split up and get the opposite targets first. This is... Yeah, I like this. I mean, to be honest, I'm just wondering... It's just so much running for Phanium, and that's my worry. He's got to do so much travelling to get this kill, because he has no breacher, as we said before, so he's got to run all the way back over to get his...
Yeah, of course, but of course Buff Guy still has to run all the way up. And he's also dependent on the Dahlia cycle as well, of course.
I mean, fortunately as well, the modern sedative syringe bug has been fixed, so at least we've not seen any tomfoolery with that, which I'm glad we get to see.
Yeah.
So Buff's going to have to go and shoot her with a Seeker, right? And then he's going to have to, like, nudge her, because or does she have to wait the full fireworks now? Because I think they're still going off.
No, but she's stuck now. If he just bombs her, he will get away. But like, regardless of it, Phanium just has too much of a lead here. Like, especially like going all the way to the drowning and then all the way escaping. It's
it's too much for Buff here now. And even this Seeker shot, I think he might even get caught here, Buff. He's going to have issues. The sedative part was fixed on console and PC. It's just Haven that is still different. But, yeah. Pretty good performance on Paris from Phanium, right?
Yeah.
Already forgot what map's next. Gotta do my admin work real quick, because there's no way Buff is going to be taking this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's a big lead for Phanium already. And I will pay out the predictions straight away, guys. And I will set up a new one. And it's the third map, so I'm bringing in the other British lads, Gordy and Joker. Are you guys here?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Yes. welcome. Well, guys, the floor is all yours. Mando and me will take a backseat there. Feel free to talk about that last Paris and the upcoming Sapienza. And we might see you later. Have fun, guys.
See you in a bit.
Ew.
Yes, Phanium with the interesting Paris strat there. Like Mando pointed out, using the pistol to isolate Victor straight away from the tech crew start, saving the fireworks for when he needed them, really. I did think, it was going to, not setting Victor up straight away was a mistake, but clearly not having the breacher, not having that for the loadout, necessitated what he did do. And clearly the actual faster strat there. Buff just leaving Paris now, finishing the spin for his own sanity. And Buff not having a great start at the minute. That rip on the exit at Ambrose. I mean, well, Buff, he's no shrinking violet. You could see the rage on his face, couldn't you?
Yeah, sad to see. It's not really what you want to see, especially in a grand final. A player ripping right next to it, like we saw from Phanium as well. So
that was a risky kill with the breach of Molotov. I'm a fan of the concussion duck onto things like that, but I have noticed lately concussion ducks onto things like propane don't seem to work as well as they used to. So it's a pick your poison type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully there won't be a fire coming in Sapienza. Of course, it will be the Molotov used again. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no natural fire kills in Sapienza, but yep, fire. Brand new addition to R&I'm, courtesy of Ambrose Island's unlock. So yeah, fire is viable for pretty much every target now. Hopefully, I'm gonna say I don't want to see a fire kill in Sapienza. I want to see some traditional stuff. What do you want to see in Sapienza, Joker?
Things that. I want to see a tour of Sapienza. Whether it's old axe, red plumber, the battle axe as well. Put that in there. I want to see the all of Sapienza. I want us to go all the way around Sapienza, seeing all the wonderful sights that there is there.
It is a gorgeous place, to be fair.
But to be honest,
you want to see people go out to the ruins, get the battle axe. You want to see them go and get the red plumber. You want to go.
Yeah, put away your disguise in there as well. Now, but I wouldn't mind a quick spinny. I would love to see these players do a spin where it's easily record spin and it's just a pure race on who does it first. I would not mind seeing that at all, like a fallen object Silvio. Mansion security than a Franny pistol suit or something. I would love to see both players race it out on this map.
Mansion security injected poison for Franny. That would be a gimme, wouldn't it?
Consumed housekeeper. That'd be nice as well.
Basically, what you're saying is you want to see stuff that you've already planned in for. You know it's going to happen. I've got a feeling we're going to see Street Performer. That's always a fun grab. You seeker him from the kitchen window, fart in a box. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong with a Street Performer grab. You see Phanium practicing the and he's ripped on the Dr. Oscar Lafayette grab there. Wasn't quite hidden well enough, but yeah, Oscar Lafayette he can split things a bit. And of course, Bohemian. That's another nightmare disguise, really, if you don't start in the main square tower. But Buff, as we know, has a full series on how to get any disguise in Sapienza, of which there's like 20 odd. I think it's 28 or something daft like that.
Yeah, it's the second most, isn't it?
It's a lot, is what it is. Now we're only 20 odd seconds away from the spin. I've just turned Buff up on my ear holes there. He seems to have calmed down a little bit, which is good because Furry was saying he needs to get past. He's dropped a couple of maps now. He just needs to get past it and get on and play what's in front of him. And I think he'll be all right. He's a seasoned enough campaigner.
Yeah.
But the spin's here. What have we got then, Joker?
We have Silvio Caruso, explosive weapon as the hazmat suit, and Francesco DeSantis, shotgun as the private detective. So yeah, no, definitely private detective, one of the more harder spins you would say on Sapienza. Hazmat suit, not as much, but of course it is. You can just do it remote for Silvio, of course, just put a breacher there next to his body, so it doesn't require you to go down to the lab and back up. So yeah, definitely could be a quick spinner. You would think if you get this funny first cycle pretty easily, you would assume.
Yeah, I mean, the detective, Sal Falcone, he's a very, very quick grab from main square start, which we can see going straight there. It just needs one trank dart, tuck into the little scooter, and you can take his disguise quite quickly. And we see Buff is already replanning. What's he forgotten? I wouldn't be. Yeah, shotgun. I wouldn't be surprised to see a silent shotgun in that briefcase. Now Phanium though, what is he's hanging about for a while here. There's a different spot what you see that grab normally, and he's no, he's I think that's gonna have to be a restart unless he can get it. No, he's ripped on it.
I think we see him place a coin down, trying to distract that lady to prevent that from happening, but she didn't get distracted by it at all, and that's what causing the issues there, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
she spotted the body. She wasn't paying any attention to the money on the ground. So so that does give Buff Guy an in. Has been noted. Buff, of course, on PS4, Phanium on PS5. Loading times very different.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, both guys doing this take very differently to the way I've seen it done. Is normally you just crouch in the corner opposite, wait for that lady to walk past, trank him, and go grab it. It's normally
she's got the coin this time, and so she's got the coin. Interrupted her cycle slightly and allowed her to go back and grab this guy's safely. Phanium this time avoiding that female NPC. Buff Guy as well grabbing the disguise. So both players around a similar spot here, around a similar in-game time. Will be running into the mansion shortly.
Yeah, I've got Buff just a little bit ahead there, 4 or 5 seconds in-game time, but pretty much going to use his silent shotty to get through that door. Nice to see. Ooh, he's gonna have to sneak through the kitchen here. No loud pistol, and we did see a breaching charge pick up in the pantry. Obviously, picking up those cans of spaghetti sauce, a must-have in Sapienza, if you ask me. Now, 420 pointing out in the chat as well. One of them might not have the EMP.
Phanium does, as we can see in his inventory here. So that is for certain here. Again, might not cause much issues if you're going down to grab the hazmat suit. Shooting the stalactite won't be much issues anyways. And throwing the EMP with the lab technician there, and then grabbing the hazmat suit might actually cause some issues. Of course, if you detonate it straight away before grabbing the hazmat suit, might be.
It's an exit thing, that is definitely, because it doesn't. You don't have a 3-second timer, not like with a kill. Now, Buff, some big whoosh getting past that gun. But we see Phanium didn't have any issues getting through the kitchen. Stole a bit of a march on Buff, but it doesn't really matter because you've still got to wait for that magic number of 2 minute 30-ish. Yeah. Magic enough, it's an ish. And there we go. Franny is in the spot for Buff, and she's also there for Phanium. Phanium being a little bit careful, just making sure that guard's at the way, knocking him out as well, which can be a bit dodgy.
Yeah, we'll have to hide him as well.
Yeah, because that other guard comes back in, but it does give him a mansion guard suit. Buff Guy takes her out and is leaving. If he can get through the bloody window, he couldn't get a prompt there. But yeah, Buff with a little bit of an advantage in that respect. We'll need to sort out Silvio. Has shot the panel. He's trespassing, but he does have the taunting. Just needs to take out these two. There's one. Of course, can knock these geezers out. And there goes Silvio. Knocked out with a breaching charge. Hopefully Buff will go down and place that breaching charge, because you don't want to leave that to chance. It's not got a very big radius.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have done it, but he's making sure, placing it under his knee, the most vulnerable part of the body. Phanium, meanwhile, has also knocked out Silvio and has given him a breacher for a pillow. Nice and comfy. Yeah. Tucking him in, making him go Nuck Night. Buff, bit of an advantage here. Is now in the Ether Lab, access to which you need a keycard and a lab coat. I don't know if you know that, Joker. Bit of pro advice for you there.
I think I've heard Diana say it plenty of times to me. To realise, even when I've walked out of the mansion, she still somehow says, I'm like, come on, Diana, I've long gone from there.
I've heard her say it to me when I'm on the speedboat, actually leaving the place. Now, Buff's setting up the laptop here with the EMP. Does have it, does he? No. No, he's just getting himself a lab coat disguise. So he's taking Diana's advice to heart. Phanium bringing that lab dude down. Yeah, Buff did have the EMP as well, so they've both got the remote EMP, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Literally the exact same place for both players now. Like, in-game time so similar, where they are is like nearly the exact same.
I'd say Buff's got the advantage. Buff does have the advantage here.
Yeah, definitely just Phanium waiting for this technician to come down. Of course, the... go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying, just coming up to one of Jotes' run rippers here. She is a nightmare. Sometimes she stands there for ages, and she's got eyes like a hawk. But the other part of it as well is that with Buff having red guns there, we don't know if he's got camera trouble. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't. I don't think he thinks he's got camera trouble. But, of course, once he kills Silvio, he'll know. It would probably do him a lot of good to kill Silvio now. Get his green or yellow guns back so he knows exactly where he is. Oh no, he's popped the EMP first and his green guns. Okay, so Buff is out. That was a bit of a heart-stopping moment for me there. He clicked the wrong remote. Because of course everything's in a panic then, and he's still red guns. So, but yeah, Buff guy gets his first map. I mean, you're in photo finish territory, but I think Buff had 2 loads, Phanium had 2 loads. Yeah. PS4 versus PS5 here. I can't see that being an issue for Buff here.
Buff finished beforehand as well, so again, Phanium, I don't think Phanium exited quite after as well. Look at that 20-second in-game time difference, waiting for that camera as well. I actually think that Phanium doesn't even have enough time to catch up to Buff anyways. No. So, like, we see PS5 loads are so quick on Sapienza, 5, 6, 7 seconds. So, definitely not enough time for Phanium to catch up Buff here.
Well, is it 5 or is it 6 or is it 7? Come on, Joker, make up your mind.
I don't know. It varies, man. Map dependent. I don't play Sapienza enough anymore.
It's a great map. I love it. I love season 1, but no, I think. Well, obviously we've got to wait for the confirmation. The lads have to go through the process. This being the grand final, you can't take any chances with that. But I'm feeling fairly confident. We've now got a scoreline of 2-4. So Buff Guy, again, like we say, taking his first map, and that is his second pick. We will be going on to Colorado, which is Phanium's pick. Which, again, well done, lads. Not picking Haven. I love you for this. You're picking things like Sapienza, Colorado, Hokkaido's in there. I couldn't be happier with the map picks. I really, really couldn't. Look at that handsome Pogger's face in the chat. Thank you, Jotes. Yeah, just waiting for Mando and Throaty to do their calculations. Shouldn't be too long.
No, I think Phanium has waived it as well. So Phanium has waived the first finish, which was expected. Phanium is aware, that his loads are significantly quicker, and he knows that the 24-second gap the Buff had. Yeah, I don't think Phanium had never enough to. You would have needed at least 4 loads.
Yeah,
for Phanium just to have a slight advantage there.
Yeah, see people asking in the chat what the next maps are. We've got Colorado, then Bangkok, then Scale, then Hokkaido, then Dubai. So, some pretty good map picks there. And I have to ask, what the hell is that Phanium's wearing?
It's the best suit in the game, Gordy. I don't know what you think it is, but it is pretty good, I think.
Is he going out on a scrambler or something? Is he going motorbiking? What the hell is that? That is awful. I'm glad he's got changed. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And I've been to a nightclub in Norwich. Something else that is. Okay. Colorado is only 4.5 minutes away. What do you want to see in Colorado then, dude?
Loudmire would be really interesting. Maya Fall as well, I think would be actually nice to see whether they try and lure her up into the top of the red barn or try and dump her into the slurry pit. Would be an interesting approach from both players.
I haven't seen a slurry pit Maya in forever and a day. I haven't seen that one for a very long time. People tend to draw her up to the barn, don't they? That seems to be the way.
A lot safer as well.
What I do want to see, if there is a fire Maya, I do not want to see a Molotov in an inventory. I've seen one Maya fire this tournament where both people brought in a Molotov, and I'm sorry, I had to call them out for it. I was incensed. I was
so
not
much.
happy.
It's just so much easier, isn't it, Gordy? If you have the loadout, you're gonna use it. Then that's where you want a fire Maya with, like, you know, a silent shotgun.
It would have been quicker. It would have been
quicker, but it's definitely, you could argue, not safer, but yeah, I mean, given the loadout, like if you need silence pistol, silence shotgun, for example, you know, actually where you would, for Maya Fire, we might not see the Molotov brought in, and I'm sure that'd be absolutely thrilling for you not seeing the Molotov brought in.
Well, I mean, I don't dislike the Molotov. I think it's an interesting addition, but you know, it's not as bad as the electric foam was in Hitman 2. I will say that. That really was a disgrace, if I'm honest. That was the worst weapon ever. Just such cheese, absolute cheese. But maybe we'll see a Scarecrow kill. Scarecrow always adds something. Scarecrow Maya can be an interesting one.
Yeah, just see how they approach across in the map as well. Even Suit could possibly be harder than Scarecrow getting across. Both equally as hard. You have to go the same way, and they're both hostile. So Suit, Scarecrow, for me, don't make much of a difference. I mean, if we can see Sean and Maya in Suit of Scarecrow, I won't be complaining personally, but
that would make for a good viewing, I should have thought. I'm just looking at the stats here. Obviously, Phanium's stats are broken because he had to get a new Discord account. He got locked out of his old one. It got stolen or something. And Discord being Discord, were their usual really helpful selves, and didn't. So we got no stats available for Phanium here, but you can go to rrstats.currymaker.net and you can do your own bloody homework. All right, we're not doing all the work for you. Okay, you've all got computers. You've all got computers. Do it yourself.
I wrote it down beforehand. He's played it 4 times, won 3, lost once. So no draws, which is always good to see. Yep. But both players having that 1 loss. Just Phanium having 2 more wins than Buff on this map.
Buff's only been here twice by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's for a big fire map. You'd have thought he'd be there more, but I think for him it's one of the maps in the middle. Like, he loves it, but you don't want to pick it because, again, you can rip anywhere on Colorado. Like, there's so many ways.
It's one of those maps
that you can
lose on. It really, really is. Sorry, Mando. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. That's why we're here, just to sort of, you know, entertain the public, and that was entertaining. Simple as that. Right, 50 seconds to go, and then we got my map of choice for this matchup. I'm looking forward to this one. I do love a bit of Colorado.
Yeah, it's gonna be entertaining. And I didn't say it before the cast, but yeah, I could have easily see this be a map where if they won, they would have won. I could have easily seen both these players be 6-up. And that's how good both these players are. I could have in my head, I could see Buff guy winning 6-0 at the moment. I could have seen Phanium winning 6-0 at the moment.
Well, it's good to see that we have got a contest as well, isn't it?
It's in the middle of this too. But like, I'm not even like calling the other player bad. It's just the fact that that's how good these players are. That on their day they go through any spin so quick. When Phanium's planning, he can win mostly every single spin. And yeah, the spin will be coming soon. I'm guessing you're going to take this one, Gord.
Oh yes, I am. Well, we have Sean Rose with a fall as Militia Cook, Electrocution in Suit for Penelope Graves, Fire as Militia Elite for Ezra Berg, and Injected Poison Hacker for Maya Parvati. So yeah, we are going to see a Molotov, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways to get Ezra with a fire kill. 420 is obviously shown off many videos on how to get fire on every single target in the world ever, even those without fire barrels in the map. But yeah, I'd be surprised not to see a molly. The electrocution suit is going to be interesting, but Phanium is in, starting West Bridge, as you'd expect with most suit spins. He is off.
It'd be interesting to see. Of course, Sean they'll have to wait till he gets back to the house if they will, after killing him, drag him down, do tornado shower for safe Ezreal exit. Of course, with these 3 bodies you knock out in the basement here, there's only 1 box, so 1 body will be out in the open, you'd think, unless he does trank one of them. Still be interesting to see.
Sean Fall. Now, are we going to see the again another 420 strat that was shown off by tranking one of the guards upstairs at the Red Barn? Sean can see him as he's coming out the explosive shed, and he'll go running up to the Red Barn. I'd be interested to see if that's the lore we do see, or whether he's going to get him upstairs in the actual house.
I remember I watched a freestyle roulette run from Unini recently on Colorado, and he managed to, the hay bales by the explosive range, he managed to get on there and peekaboo Sean and dump him from there. And it's like literally 1 volt. There's a dump eliminate prompt there. I was like, how is that an eliminate prompt? But somehow it is, and it works pretty damn well.
It's insane. Okay, Phanium has cleared out the basement. Ezra is isolated for him. He is in Militia Elite disguise, and he's looking to get this puddle started up near the Scarecrow, and that's where he's going to grab Penelope.
Is
Buff don't want to leave that running too long, obviously, otherwise someone will come and investigate that. Now, Buff is knocking out. Yeah, he's taking downstairs. Now, where is he going to electrocute her?
It might just be a lack of thing, you've just not read the spin properly. In Roulette League, again, I'll make another flashback where I think it was you maybe, Gordy. It was like a consumed poison for Penelope and you just knocked her out.
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's such an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, you're in the zone. That's your... and Phanium's ripped. Oh, Phanium got caught. He just got the Penelope kill. He was looking to... it looked like he was looking to peekaboo a hacker in or something, but...
Yeah, just
too long. A bit too long. But I think... I'd still put Phanium in the lead here with Buff having knocked Penelope out. I'm really not sure what he's going to do for the electrocution kill there.
It might just be similar as he just hasn't realised, and it's just pure habit of doing this strat, and he'd have to wait and get there. But he picks up the taser now. You think that'd be a idea that he should have?
Yeah, I mean he knows he's got a sparker, unless he thinks he's sparking Maya. So he's in a hacker. He would have picked up the poison from the basement. Obviously, there's no point bringing in a needle in your own loadout. There's a free one in the basement. I'm going to restart again from Phanium there. He didn't clear the basement. Okay, Buff just pulling Maya over where she's not going to get spotted getting poked.
But no, I'm really looking forward to see this electrocution for Buff here.
Yeah. No, he obviously gets the correct kill on Maya, so that takes that out of the equation. He's going to box her as well. It obviously doesn't need to because she's poisoned, but it saves any sort of panic going round.
It's such a sensitive map on the Colorado is.
Yeah.
You know, like one body gets found, especially if it's target, and everyone goes into lockdown.
And they stay in lockdown. Yeah, they stay in lockdown for a long time, and sometimes just stay in lockdown forever because, Hitman be Hitman. Okay, Buff waiting for the pisser to go. No, he's going to knock him straight out and get spotted. No, he had noticed he wasn't crouched when he threw it. Oh. Okay, so we've got to wait to see what Buff's got planned for that electrocution kill.
Yeah.
I see Phanium going straight past Penelope. Of course, it's a fairly simple kill for Penelope once you get it set up. And Buff ripping on the start. He's in that stage of having no... Well, the only luck he's having is no luck.
Yeah. You rip once and it all starts to crumble and go wrong, really. And, in a first to 8 where you will get fatigued very quickly, a map like Colorado is not really what you want. So both players be looking just to try now, just go flawless from this point onwards. And when we get to, in 3 odd minutes time, we would have been in that territory where my opponent can finish any moment. So it's going to be interesting to see what both players do. Phanium will hack the server thing. I don't see this that often to grab a hacker.
It brings a safe hacker down. you know, well, not a safe hacker, but it brings a hacker down safely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's their occupation. But Phanium does also have the first kill down on Penelope, which you'd expect to see. The Ezra kill is going to be interesting. Of course, he's going to need to make sure Ezra is nice and clear of his 2 guards that are knocked out down there. Because the Molly does have quite a range.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, of course, with a knocked out body, unless you throw the Molly directly at their head, you're pretty much guaranteed a fire kill.
Yeah.
If you throw the Molly at their head, it's an explosion kill when they're knocked out. But otherwise, you don't have to worry about the explosion bit. Just take that extra second, make sure you're not locked on.
Phanium would have missed that opportunity we saw Buff do for Maya with that slightly longer hacker grab, but I think we will see him try and do a peekaboo or something now onto Maya just to get that kill off here.
Yeah, Buff again with the Penelope isolation. I really want to know what he's doing there. You know what I mean? It's I'm intrigued and horrified at the same time that he's knocked her out.
Phanium just playing a bit of fire here. Getting a bit of whooshes from all angles is not really what you want when you're trying to target over.
Peekaboo and Maya around here is hard work. It can be done. Absolutely, it can be done. Most things can. But it's, yeah. And the funny thing I find about here as well, you can actually get hit by bullets when they're just practicing it here, in the range. Remember getting hit. What the hell's that? Am I hunted? What's going on? No, you idiot. You're standing downrange of a shooting range. He really wants this peekaboo. He's spending a lot of time.
Slowly getting it.
He does have time as well because it looks like he's going to get Sean back in the house, maybe.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. So yeah, but does get the peekaboo nice off here.
Yep. Both of them have Maya on the... Oh, no. Buff doesn't have Maya on the hook. She's... Buff has managed to pull one of the guards down from upstairs.
Yeah.
Manages to distract him with a bullet shot there. Has the wherewithal to realise... she's now going to enforce that guard. So Buff really having a hard time. Both the boys having a hard time with the Maya lore. Phanium finally does get the kill just about the 4.5 minute mark.
I was right, Phanium there. Mine was an angle. Mine was an angle where you think, oh, that's going to be closer to JRB, but thankfully, none occurred, and Phanium will, I think, have a trank spare now for this easier militia cook grab. Of course, still will cause issues trying to trank him, but definitely will make it a lot easier. Of course, the pissing guard will have to wait a lot longer as well.
Well, he's only just started weeing, so, you're right for another 5-10 seconds. Go on, the chef's turned his back on him. Oh, the boys are not having fun in Colorado. It's usually such a fun, happy time, place, isn't it? It's a bit like Disney World. With
roughly similar, aren't they? They're like a military camp filled with terrorists, so like mostly the same as Disneyland. I agree with you there. Mickey Mouse has been hitting differently recently, so.
Oh, you found all those Walt Disney conspiracy videos? Oh, good to see. Peak 2010 YouTube. Phanium finally getting this militia cook who's stopped trolling him. Buff guy just about to grab him at the same time, gets the knockout, boxes him, and he is safely changed. Can pick up his pistol and go. So very nice, and that is evened it up a little bit there.
Yeah, Phanium now. Sean will come into the house at this point as he does walk up the ramp into it as well. So
yeah, Sean will get himself upstairs, but of course Phanium will need to get up there and
he could just run straight through the main entrance, no? I mean, there might have been a camera in his way, but
no, he's taking out the cameras.
Yeah, so he could just walk straight through. Of course, with Penelope being dead, the 2 guards outside would have buggered off. So he could have just run straight through. No issues with that, and having some hesitation here with Sean, just slightly a bit late. Here, you could argue.
Buff guy. Impressive. There's now who's he dragging? He's dragging Ezra.
Phanium, please be careful here.
Yeah, now Penelope. Here we go with Buff then with the Penelope drag. This is I Oh, well done, Phanium. Nicely done with the Sean Rose kill. Gets him halfway up. Ooh. Big whoosh there. Nobody's in the... Oh, and they found Sean. That's fine. So he does get away with it. But yeah, that was tight. Now, Phanium playing with the hostile glitch here, getting changed into a Militia Elite in the cellar. But all he has to do now...
He's going to try and grab the Sean mask from upstairs, it seems. But
makes sense.
He's Militia Elite now, causing some problems.
Yeah.
The force on the stairs, dead body around.
He's got a busy time there. A very busy time. And he doesn't have any explosives or no remote triggers that he can set the molly off, a la his strat in Ambrose Island with Noel Crest. Buff guy, meanwhile... Now, he's gonna electrocute Penelope in the house. Oh wow, no, he's peekabooed this dude, but he's just not far enough in to get the subdue.
And I think
is he now looking at the puddle on the floor? What is going on? What is going on with Buff's guard? Buff's guard there. Is he gonna shit or get off the pot, mate? Let him, do something. He's investigating the crowbar door now. He notices it. Okay.
Phanium now. Just using the briefcase here, really smart, just to able to grab the mask here or turn on the computer to start printing the mask. Of course, that will get rid of one of the hackers permanently for now, and the other one does get distracted by it. So
yeah, there's no bumping him off the path.
Buff is knocking out.
Buff is knocking out this entire floor.
I love it.
Is he actually going to drag Penelope all the way up the stairs to Sean Rose's bathroom? I think he is.
Of course, has to be a bit careful with Sean as well here, of course.
Oh, is this turning off the 3D printer going to grab anybody else? No, it doesn't look like it.
But Phanium now does have the 3D printed mask. We'll be opening up the tornado shelter, and Ezra is so close to the exit here. Not much really to go wrong for Phanium now.
Oh, Buff guy has Sean knocked out on the stairs. Don't drag him yet. Don't kill him yet, Buff. You're not in the right disguise. Okay, here we go.
Just throw it, Phanium. I don't trust this at all. What happened on Ambrose?
He's going to use a loud assault rifle to shoot the Molotov. That is an accident kill, and Phanium is out of Colorado. That was a wild ride. Buff just getting the kill on Sean now. Yeah, that Penelope kill for Phanium made all the difference there.
Yeah, I want to see Buff do this kill though. I really do want to see this. So, man, just hold off a little bit while we wait for Buff to do this here, because if he does this, and it would have been great to see, but unfortunately here, Phanium taking that 6-2 lead, heading into what I think is Phanium is a map that he really likes, Bangkok. So both players are really likable in this.
Oh
map.
wow, Buff! Someone has walked down the stairs there as well. So that was the end of Buff's Colorado attempt. Of course, killing Sean Rose. You get that telepathy between the guards, the same way you get with Penelope, isn't it? Her guards move off. But yeah, Phanium takes Colorado, and we're off to Bangkok. And our two other casters, Mr. Frody7 and Mando. Do we have you back, lads?
But of course.
Here they are. What did you think, Colorado then, and lads? What did you the Penelope attempt from Buff?
It was a struggle bus for both. It was highly entertaining though. Tricky spin. It's not the most straightforward, easy spin these players could get, but yeah, in the end it was the Penelope kill that made the biggest time difference there. I think.
Yeah, it was huge, absolutely huge. Well, me and Joker are going to go to the bar, get a beer, and let you two get on with it. We might be back for 2 more maps at the end, but who knows? We'll see in a bit.
You'll guys be back regardless for the post-match interview with the winner. So
we shall.
Finally,
some peace and quiet.
I know, right? Yeah, Bangkok. One of Buff's strongest maps, right? or at least in his confidence levels anyway.
Both of them are really strong at this map, I'd say. But I gotta say though, Mando, like so far, this is exactly what I wanted to see from a console grand final, or just a grand final in general, in the sense that it is actually really, really close between these players. Like, sure, the score is saying 6-2, but just look at that Ambrose at the beginning. Like, it easily could have been a 4-4 here. You know, like it's just the small little details here, like dealing with the pressure, silly rips here and there. That's just making the difference between 4-4 and 6-2, for example. But it's so close, and you just love to see it, don't you agree?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, this is as you said, literally exactly what I want to see. I mean, 6-2 really doesn't do this justice as to what we've seen so far. The fact that we've had only one photo finish is almost surprising. I think we definitely could have had at least 2 or 3, honestly, of the 4 maps we've played. I mean, yeah, Ambrose alone could have easily gone the other way. Paris, I mean, to be honest, Paris, Phanium was just, I mean, we thought his route was potentially not going to be the best way, but I mean, he proved us wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, Colorado was also like much closer when you think about it. Like, we can agree, like Phanium had the quickest threat there, right? But like the pivotal moment there was also like for the buff guy when on his first run where he knocked out that cook and got spotted, or the pissy guy, I should say, and got spotted there. You know, like if that rip didn't happen, I think despite having a slower strat, it would have the potential for a photo finish. Once again, like, reinforcing my points, it's just like, as expected with these two great players, just like the little details that just make the difference here.
But I mean, they're clearly, as you said, this is exactly what it's definitely what we wanted to see, but it's what I expected to see as well. I knew it'd be close, I knew it'd be tense. And yeah, I'm hoping we get a few more maps out of this, to be honest. Very much so. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, for the first time this grand final, we do have Phanium on match point here. He is one map win away from winning the title of R9 champion. So now the pressure is increasing with each map now. Buff just can't afford to lose any more maps anymore. He needs to win this to make it 6-4. And very much looking forward to this map. As you mentioned, Mando, like Buff is definitely really strong at Bangkok, but so is Phanium. So again, I'm expecting a very close map here that will get decided by small little details here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, all I'll say is that I'm preparing for a photo finish. That's all that I need to say, I think, to be honest. I'm very much expecting it could happen here. Yeah. Oh, less than 30 seconds though. This is getting hype.
Yeah, silence.
Well, more hype than it already was.
Yeah, it's just like I said, the pressure and the stakes are just getting higher and higher with each map.
Yeah, and I mean, the question is, does Phanium feel that additional pressure now he is on match point as well?
Yeah, and endurance and exhaustion coming into play at this point as well, because. Well, before I continue, what's the spin, Mando?
I have Jordan Cross, loud assault rifle as Abel De Silva, Ken Morgan drowning in the suit.
Oh, that's quite tricky, actually.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. Yeah, when I saw this come up, obviously I am adminning. When I saw this come up, I mean, this is something I was actually going to say a minute ago. I mean, the spins we've had for this final have been good. Very good.
Worthy of a grand final, I would say.
Yeah, it has treated us very, very well. I'll say that much. I mean, this right here tells you how difficult a spin it is when Phanium has taken more than like 10 seconds to pre-plan. Still only taken like 40. But
yeah, but look,
for him, that's a lot.
There's barely any difference in the loadout phase. But yeah, before the spin came over, what I was trying to say, Mando, like at this point on in the final, like exhaustion, endurance, it's all coming into play as well because, well, you know, you've played in tournaments, like playing a tournament match like in Roulette where you're constantly under pressure and thinking, it's mentally exhausting. It really is. And now, like
100%.
another component of the skill set come into play, like can you keep your focus? Can you keep your head straight and sharp? You know, it's just
Yeah.
you should not like underestimate that factor. It really is draining playing roulette, especially
of
on the
course.
grand final with this pressure on.
Yeah, of course. Both players have been in finals before, so they'll understand that they're in for the long haul. But that really doesn't make it any easier. It's going to be it's going to feel a long day for these guys, and we're already seeing opposing strats straight away as well. Seeing Phanium just wants to get this suit drowning out the way, whereas Buff going straight for Abel. He has forgot his loud assault rifle though. That is in his in the 47 suite still.
Yep.
Luckily realised before he'd wandered too far away at least.
Well,
And Phanium, Phanium's got the bread basket.
Yeah.
Phanium's got the bread basket.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So this is why suit drowning, by the way, to anyone who hasn't played much roulette or seen much roulette. This is Ken Morgan drowning is sort of like a bogeyman, right? It theoretically shouldn't be difficult, but he just never wants the path to a bathroom. You sort of have to do some. You don't have to, but you sort of have to manipulate it a bit, I suppose, is a way of wording it. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Just for the fact that you can't really go for the standard medic at the kitchen at this food plate. Like, I mean, you can, but you have to do some setup as well. Of course, there are always other options. Like that is the beauty about it, though. Like some take longer, of course. Like you could even like when you start in your suit, you could just get like a hotel staff straight away, lure him all the way up, and then make him sick there. You know. I mean, that's incredibly long, but it is an option. And of course, the ladder kneel and making him sick in the basement and drowning him there. Like, so at least you do have like at least 3 or more options to do the skill. You're not restricted by just one way of doing it. But yeah, it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, and Buff actually having some difficulties here with Jordan. He's not enforcing. He's not looking up enough anyway. Let's say that'll do it right there. Get the pistol out.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting spot. We don't see players get Jordan here often.
Yeah, he's finally got him. That was a lot of messing around for Buff, but he's finally got him on the hook. And there is actually a place to dump him straight away here. So, and he can go into that. You can go into that side room actually, and it's soundproof anyway. So that's even better.
Yeah, I'm really liking this from Buff, this spot for him. Also helps, of course, that you're not trespassing as Abel de Silva when you're on the top floor, like only in the suite. So like the exit is easy for him. Yeah, it doesn't even have to hide him. No one goes in there. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like his escape here is just easy. No enforcers, not trespassing. It's just smooth sailing here, and now he can focus on Ken. And Phanium, on the other hand, Mando, just struggling with the setup here.
Yeah, I don't think he knows the drowning setup. He does, but he's got an instant red guns. But yeah, you do basically want to seek the guard first, or just anyone. You want to seek someone else first, because that will occupy the bread basket thing, and then that should send Ken quite a lengthy way still, all the way downstairs to get that drowning kill done.
Yeah, and we see another rip. That's the 5th already from Phanium, just not having any luck with it. And I gotta say, if you're not aware of what you just said, like making someone else sick first, and you're not aware of the timings and everything, like doing it this way is tricky. Like I'd say, like if you don't know how to do it, just go with the ladder.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very reliable option. Buff gonna take out the final boss of Bangkok there. He has no cams to worry about now. That instantly relaxes me. As soon as I have cams offline on Bangkok, it's just one less thing you've got to worry about.
True, but still, I gotta say though, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, what Buff just did. Like, at that point, he wasn't recorded yet, he still had green guns. And like, that room
Yeah, I must admit.
this room is not awful, and like, for the rest of the kills here, you're not really dealing with cameras.
No, I was going to say, he shouldn't really need to be near cameras now until, well, at all, unless he goes for, like, one of the basement exits, which is an option, but I mean, he has a Krugermeyer to just shoot the one out, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's required at all, but I mean, it's one of those things. Like I said, for me, it's a comfort thing almost when they're down. But he definitely didn't need to. But you know, maybe like me, it just makes him feel a little more confident. Let's say.
Yeah, and Phanium just hitting a brick wall here. We can just see him time and time again. He's just not getting past it. And yeah, big lead here for.
Has Buff just realised he's got no? I think has Buff just realised he's got no Seeker? Or oh no, he's brought in a medic in because this is the only thing second cycle can though, right? Sends him straight to the bathroom. I think.
These guys have figured something out. Like it has to do with like a guy here occupying the bathroom, and like then he will go on the second cycle. He will go to the bathroom. And I know that Buff Guy is aware of this, which makes it incredibly easy and also explains why he didn't bring the Seeker, as you mentioned, Mando.
Yeah, but he's just got to play a waiting game now, and Phanium's going to have to wait as well, because he's managed to Seeker the guard, but he couldn't get one off on Ken quick enough. He's got a lot of whoosh happening. Yeah, and he's just really having issues here, is Phanium. Buff has so much waiting to do, you can see he's just typing away.
Yeah, I wish he didn't though. Like,
yeah, I mean the players are talking. I would rather I'd rather they save that for after the match.
Yeah, even for his own benefit. Like, just keep your head into it, man. Stay focused. Yeah, you gotta wait a long time. Like, the cycle was unfortunate.
It is funny watching him though. He's not having a good time. But yeah, no, I agree. You need to keep your head in the game, as we were saying at the beginning. You're in for the long haul when you're playing a grand final. I mean, first like, 8 is a lot of maps.
Yeah, but if we look at this, right, Mando, like that's just one tricky moment here. He needs to get rid of his guard.
Yeah, and that mirror as well.
Yeah, without panicking Ken here, but. Other than that, like, he should have a safe escape here.
Yeah, he should. Because of the bathroom he's going for, obviously he just has to run to main exit. I don't know what Phanium's... Is Phanium just going to wait for Ken to head out here? Does he... If you emetic him over here, does he just go downstairs? Because it looks like he'd still go back to the bread bin from there.
Yeah.
But he's got the fart bomb, not unless he plans on hitting 2 people at once and hoping that he gets this work the right way.
Yeah, it does look like it, and honestly, you can't blame him. Like, if you're not familiar with the drowning kill, and obviously what he's been doing for the last 8 minutes or so was not working out for him, you got to switch it up. You got to try something, right? And especially like in the grand final, it's like so hard. Like, if you're throwing a blanket, you just don't know something. Like, it's so hard to come up with a solid alternative. And yeah, we'll see if this works, but look at this. Buff Guy is getting super close here. He's even calmering. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't know he still had a calmer. I love that from Buff. That's so safe.
Yeah, 100%. No point taking that disguise. It's basically a suit, but worse. And yeah, now just a run to the exit.
He can't rip. No cameras, no enforcers.
Yeah, as long as he keeps that taunt in his inventory, he is good to go. Yeah, and that's a pretty... I mean, he probably won't be happy with a 9-minute in-game time, because you know for a fact he'll know he could have done better, but...
but still, it's first try,
he's made the right move. He's made the right move for a match, hasn't he? Every single day of the week. You don't need to... Speed is not the key all the time.
Exactly, and I honestly dare say that a lot of players in this tournament with this spin would struggle with it. It's really not an easy spin. Like Loud Kill for Jordan. as able to Silva, drowning Soot. Like, it's awkward. It's an awkward spin. So, yeah, sure, he will not be happy with the time. And, like, waiting for a cycle is, like, excruciating. But really, really, really props to him. He played that really well. And, yeah, like I said, I honestly think that a lot of players would struggle with the spin, especially when the pressure is this high.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I mean, time's not always... I mean, obviously the time technically is important, but it's not like... There are times where you just want security, and that is one of those spins. And, yeah, I'm not going to say he played it to perfection time-wise, but in terms of just getting it done, absolutely perfect. Didn't do a thing out of place. And
Exactly.
yeah, I very much approve of it. I very much approve of his choice of just taking that back to basics. You know, get the core stuff done. Just get the spin done. Doesn't matter how quick you do it. And yeah, that has paid off big time for him there.
Yeah, definitely. And well, Buff Guy is doing what what he has to do, and takes Bangkok here, takes it back to 6-4, and yeah, you already mentioned it at the beginning of Bangkok, Mando, where you said like it's a different kind of pressure for Phanium, right? When you're that close, you only need to win one more map, but now it's tenfolded, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been in a Roulette Rivals final, but, you know, I've been in finals of other, not even just Hitman, but, you know, other games and stuff. And, yeah, just knowing you're on that last point is always the hardest to get.
Yeah, but especially, like, you're up 6-2, right? You're on match point, and then you lose that next map. Yeah, sure, you still got 2 more shots, but it's gotta...
Yeah, well,
it's gonna creep in your mind. It's gonna creep in your head,
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna give this away, right? No way. Like,
yeah, he knows he's on his own map now. That's his confidence. But yeah, he'd feel a hell of a lot stronger going into this, coming off the back of a win. And you can see Buff's mood change as well. Like, he's come off that win, he's going to be feeling good. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and for Buff, it's easy, right? He just needs to win.
Yeah, this is going to be a big map now.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, both players still have tremendous amount of pressure at this point, but it's a different kind of pressure, which is like really interesting.
Yeah, and both of these players as well, just to note, are very, very good at Segale. Buff, 75% win rate from 4, so he's, you know, won 3, lost 1. Phanium's been here 7 times, and he has still won 5 of those, so he's on like a 71 point something %. So, can you even really split these guys going in? I don't think you can, truthfully. I think we're going to be in for an incredible Segale with a lot of pressure on this for both of these guys. Phanium fighting for the win, Buff fighting to keep his place. Yeah, this is going to be unreal.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it a couple of times already, but these 2 players are incredibly close to each other in terms of skill and performance. I mean, of course, right? They're the grand finalists, like both amazing players, and yeah, again, it's just the little details that will decide a map here, and it still can just go either way, especially if Buff manages to tie this up.
Yeah, and I very much hope he does. This has been a grand final deserving of one big showdown map. Although, what are we on after this? I think we're over to Hokkaido, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with a juicy Hokkaido spin, to be fair, that would be a good could be a good final map. Well, technically not the final map. They could tie, of course.
Yeah, but not on Hokkaido. Not on Hokkaido though.
Well, you never know. That photo finish during less than 2 seconds.
True.
That would be deserving. So we need Buff to win. You know, no offense, Phanium, but we just want to take this to the max. It's a deserving game.
Viewers and casters always just want to see it come to the decider, right?
Oh yeah,
the players will disagree. They say, "No, fuck you guys. I don't care about you."
They want this done and out of the way. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, how long have they been playing for? We've been going for like what, an hour and 20 minutes already.
Yeah, again, and it's gonna get worse and worse for these guys to stay focused. And yeah, it took a little time for Buff Guy to get over Ambrose. You could clearly see that he still had it in his head during Paris. But I said, that's the good thing about the first to 8, right? There's so much time.
Yeah, there's always chance to come back. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're 10 seconds away. Again, second time match point for Phanium. Isle of Scale. And what do we have? We have Zoe Washington, Viking X as Castle Staff. And her twin, Sophia Washington, Sniper Rifle as a lead guard.
Yeah, that's a quick one right there, the Sophia
kill. That's a very, very quick one.
And Phanium, Christ.
Both, really.
Yeah, Phanium is in very quick indeed.
But I'm really surprised about the chapel start here from Phanium.
Yeah, sure. This to me is the blue suit guy. What's it called? The architect.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeker. You can get your sniper in the smuggle point. You can get that kill done in 40 seconds.
Yeah, very quick as well. And you also got the Castle Staff disguise that's also just up there. Viking X, I mean, there's so many little melees and skills, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say the Viking X is at the Butler? I always mix them up.
I think there's two. There's I think the Viking X, there's one by the Entertainer, and then there's one in the Butler's downstairs.
But that's what I mean. So you got all four things,
everything is on one floor potentially. You can get everything for this spin on one floor. You just then have to travel to Zoe.
Yeah, and Phanium in the meanwhile using the Master of Ceremonies lore. Almost never the quickest way, but always super solid, always consistent.
And he knows he can get upstairs for this kill. Actually, Phanium might have made the right call here, but I mean, we said this on Paris about the lack of breacher, but he clearly knows that this is working very strong because he'll be able to get up for that radio lure just in time, get that kill, grab his castle staff.
But I'm still fairly confident that the start that Buff is using Architect is the way to go here.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I'd go for myself. But that's, who knows? Oh, and Phanium, he's missed Sophia.
Yeah, oof.
Oh my god.
And
so that instantly swings a pendulum.
Yeah, and now the question is are you gonna restart straight away? Or are you gonna just wait another cycle?
Oh my god, that is big, potentially now for this. Yeah. That surely puts the pendulum back in Buff's favour, right? Is he going to go downstairs and seek a Zoe into that bathroom, maybe?
He probably wants to retrieve the Viking X first here. Which it's always a tricky room, right? The Butler room.
Yeah, please don't knock this guy out.
And the constant isn't making it any better either.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure. Buff just taking a little bit of extra time. Phanium getting that Viking X.
Yeah, it's using a calmer on both of them, which makes a lot of sense.
So Phanium, the constant is heading over that bridge, so he's going to panic seeing those tranked bodies, right? So that's going to get rid of the helicopter, which is right near the Zoe kill. So he's going to have to use the Architect exit, which has cameras. Has cameras and other scary things.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Buff only using one trank on the Butler, just knocks out the other guy here. And also drags the Butler here. He just doesn't want the constant to find him. Makes a lot of sense. And I don't know. It's looking good. I'd say a small lead here for Buff guy. He now needs to get the castle staff here, of course.
Yeah, he's actually going to move the Viking axe just slightly, just to. He may as well. I don't mind that he's done that at all. I mean, the castle staff fairly easy disguise to get because this guy just hits from pretty far away.
Yeah, and now we got a kill from Phanium here, and
No.
restart. Well, he got the kill.
No, we don't.
He got the kill.
Let's
be fair. He got the kill. He got the kill.
Technically, we did get a kill. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I still very much. I mean, even without that restart, Buff was looking pretty good, and yeah, this is looking pretty good for Buff as well.
Yeah, but now the question is, he still as the sniper is how is he gonna approach Zoe? Is he gonna go for a seeker? Or is he gonna go with a Master of Ceremonies room?
It looks like just gonna do the MOC. Yeah. I think that's a far safer idea. I think this comes back to what we just saw on Bangkok as well. Like, yeah, just playing that little bit safer. And honestly, and he's got a bullet impact notice. That's not ideal.
Yeah, and no calmers. That's
okay. So this is a little bit scary now.
This is scary.
He might just want to wait this panic out, to be honest. I know he's gonna not like that answer, but yeah, he might just want to wait this out.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't know where Phanium is, of course. So he's still going to be thinking, Phanium's nearly done. But yeah, there you go. Panic's over. Like, he could even bring him over here. Actually, he's going to seek this guard. I don't like that he's got this sniper. Oh my God, Buff! Why are you doing this to me? Oh, this is so tense.
Yeah, and now this guard is taking away.
Yeah, it looks like his Seeker Dart got eaten, right? He did shoot out this guy, but
this is just pure pressure, right? This is scary. Also, like this weapon box is just so close. He needs to be aware of it. It's just right there. And he needs to be aware of the custodian as well. Like, this is also scary.
No!
Oh my God, yeah. It was just a snowball effect there, Mando. It just...
Yeah.
It started with the bullet impact, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, like,
I think he's just so... I don't know how to... I think he's just so worried that Phanium is about to finish there that he's, trying to rush more than he perhaps needed to. I mean, Phanium's not having a great time here either. He's still struggling to get these tranks off and constants on his way, so he's not got a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, I mean, both players...
Yeah, and they... No.
And that's a rip... Yeah. I mean, it's not just the pressure at this point, right? Again, it's also just like the exhaustion here, like staying mentally sharp. Like an hour and a half in already. This is the 6th map. You really should not underestimate it. It's so draining.
100%. Like I said, I've not even been and done it, but I appreciate even some of the first to 6s when you go the distance. That can feel pretty rough.
Yeah.
So chucking the extra pressure and the extra maps on top of that, it doesn't surprise me at all that it's such a mental challenge.
It really is. But yeah, both players are pretty much on equal footing, like based on in-game time. I am liking Buff's strat better. It's just it's the mock room. That clear out, he needs to do that better. But other than that, I'd say you have a slight lead here, if Phanium doesn't change anything up. Of course, Phanium missing the radio the first time around was it's definitely a big deal as well. And we see
and
another rip from Phanium.
I was going to say, these guys just it's one of those things, I know they know what they're doing, and they know that as well, but just getting that all done when you're tired mentally, it's proven to be a lot. I mean, Buff could actually have used the sniper to open this door here to get access to the axe quicker. Could have shot that from across the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
And these are the things, again, from my seat up here, as casting, adminning, whatever you want to call it, viewer. It's so easily said, isn't it? We can just say, oh yeah, you just do this, 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 and this. But it really is not that easy.
No, especially not. But Buff Guy is using the snail here for these two. I'm not sure if he did that the last time as well. No, he
He's
did.
Got the snail bug where it hasn't set off yet. It just takes ages. It will go off.
Really?
It
I've
should
never seen
anyway.
this.
Yeah, I think this has happened in this tournament already, actually.
What the fuck?
Okay, his just isn't going off at all. Why does this happen to Buff in his grand finals? Like, oh no.
That's such bullshit, man. That's actually bullshit.
I wish I could just clear the spin and make them go again. I hate stuff like that. It's so infuriating. It's nothing on Buff at all. And if that is another like bug that makes him lose a championship, he's really, really going to be unhappy.
Yeah, and who can blame him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly lost for words. I almost don't know what to say. There's nothing you can really say about this now. It's just complete bullshit, as you said. It's not good. I kind of wish I might have to listen to his audio, actually. The word bullshit was within about 2 seconds, so he agrees with us, but Phanium should have a easier time now. He's actually got Sophia with the radio lure this time instead of her god.
Yeah, that is saving a lot of time. And of course, he did the clear out of the Master of Ceremonies room already. So, again, but both players are struggling with retrieving the Viking eggs here.
One target down. Nice work.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like I said, it theoretically shouldn't be difficult, but again, we haven't just played 6 maps of nonsense. Phanium is using that sniper to open that door.
Yeah, that makes a lot.
Doesn't want to fire that trunk too early.
And it's still scary. Let's see if he gets the clear out now. This is awkward angles for him as well. Like to get off that Calmer shot on either of them.
Yeah, I mean, I do not like this at all.
Nope. This does seem safe though. Calmer's both.
Yeah.
Even waits with the pistol shot to get the Viking S until he's fully knocked out.
Yeah, and
the
Constant's going to be going over that bridge now as well. But I think at this point, Phanium must know that he's just going to write the helicopter exit off, and he can just use the other one next door. Yeah, I always forget what it's called, the winch thing.
But again though, like Buff does successfully clear out the butler room. Like he's in general not struggling that much with this. Like only at 1 rip here, I believe. Like with the snail earlier. And like he is catching up.
Yeah, I mean Buff's issues, honestly, like I mean, if he hadn't have had that snail bug, honestly, it looked like he probably would have had a pretty good crack at winning the map, right? Because he had the MOC left, and I'll be honest, Buff doesn't strike me as the kind of player who's going to make that mistake twice, with like the sort of issues he had with the MOC.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like the small little details here, right? And Phanium has awkward timing here with the 2 patrolling guards as well.
Yeah, and one of those is like the super enforcer guy as well.
Yeah, that can instantly spot you.
Buff smartly being careful not to jump down because you do go instantly hostile, and it's not worth taking any chances there. I like that. Mm-hmm. That's good knowledge. Buff's still going to take the sniper, so I'm hoping he fires the warning shot that he fired last time a lot further away.
Yeah,
Phanium has managed to get back though.
it is. And Phanium, of course, has.
He has no helicopter though, so this. Oh, and yeah, you can see straight away he instantly changed his mind.
Yeah.
He needs to get himself a disguise custodian. Good choice.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Which exit? Are you still gonna take a risk here? I mean, it's not much of a risk, right? He's just gonna crowbar door open to the custodian start and this. Oh, but he's going this way. Oh, I'm not a fan of this way. This door is also locked.
No, looks good.
It is looking good. No cameras. He is dodging it, and that does seem to be it. And again, it was so close, Mando. It was so incredibly close here.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll give some time just to. I mean, say that he's not even started the law yet, has he? So it's definitely not going to be a thing. But I will let this play out just for literally 30 seconds.
It was just small little details in the game, also being a little bit of bullshit here and there that made the difference here. Like, I can honestly say these two players are so equal in this grand final. It was so incredibly close. Like, absolutely unreal.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really struggling to find words. In truth, can officially call that there. I mean,
this was so insanely close. It was just some bullshit and just like small little details here, like so close. Like 8-4 definitely doesn't tell the whole story. By the way, this grand final was going. This was the serving of a 7 map or even an 8 map. It was unbelievable. Buff guy does seem to be in greater spirits though. He can definitely be proud.
Yeah, I mean, he put in a hell of a performance. I mean, to be honest, I don't have the exact timings. I'll have to double check the VOD back, but I'm pretty sure Buff wasn't even too far out of
he really
finish range. I think he probably would have been. It's probably about a minute instead of 47 seconds. And to be honest, with the photo finishes, I would definitely have said he probably could have actually come back. But it's just the way it happened, isn't it? It's just the way it happens when you get these bugs that influence big grand final matches. It's just so.
Yeah, but it just goes to show, right, how close it is between these two players. These are both just top players. Like they just showed they deserve their spot in the final, and it just got decided by details, really. Again, like Buff can look back at an amazing tourney, really. Second place yet again for him. So close. He does want that title in the future at some point. Mando, could you drag Phanium into this voice channel?
Yeah, where is he? I'll have to let him join another channel first. But yeah, as soon as he does, that sounds good.
Yeah. I'll tell him. So yeah, guys, in the chat we will be getting a post-match interview with our RR9 champion, Phanium. We should also have Gordy and Joker back here as well.
Hello.
Hello, Gordy. Joker should be back as well. And I do see Phanium in the Shoutcasting channel. Are you there, Phanium?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your second Roulette Rivals title. That's RR8 and RR9. That's back-to-back. Congratulations, man. First thoughts?
Honestly, I don't know what was happening with that scale, but I'll take the win on it. But yeah, besides that, Buff played really well. He stole that Bangkok off of me. I had no idea what I was doing, evidently. But yeah, I feel like I played pretty well. So.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. It was honestly like I'm sure you're gonna watch it back at a later point. It was so close between you two guys. It really could have gone either way on like multiple maps. Like the 8-4 doesn't tell the whole story really. It was so close with such crucial moments and just small details that determine the maps. Gordy, do you have any questions or thoughts about this map for
Yeah,
Phanium?
going on what Feroti said there as well. Obviously, you will go back and watch this, and I can only apologise for Joker's comments on some of your gameplay. I'm kidding, of course. But when you watch it back, yeah, I mean, Ambrose, especially the first map to kick this all off, and both of you ripping at the exit, slightly different timings on it, but it was like right then and there we knew we were going to be in for a bit of a ride. How are you feeling when you first saw that explosion rather than accident kill on Nolan Crest right at the exit?
I was so pissed off. I was like, I'm definitely losing this map, and there's no way I'm gonna get any like morality from this at all. But you know, I took the win and kept going, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it happened on a number of occasions. The pair of you, it was back and forth. But yeah, I highly recommend watching this cast back, and yeah, and just well, your toes will curl at some points, and other points you'll be like punching the air. Don't worry about it. So yeah, but GG's, man, that was great fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so incredibly close. Like just based on this grand final, just two equal players here, and it's again, can't stress it enough. Like it's the small little details and some bullshit here and there for both players too, and yeah, absolutely a final that we wanted to see. Don't you agree, Joker?
I know it was great, and we were questioning it beforehand about the Haven ban. I said, you picked against me is about that you like. Can you tell us why, or some context of why you banned it?
Well, if you must know, I ripped like 10 times against you, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that in the grand final. So I was like, sure, let's ban it.
Correct decision, by the way.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah. Didn't have to commentate on that horrific map. So thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Do you have any questions for our winner, Mando?
Can you teach me how to pre-plan that quick? Because that is the one thing I want to highlight, honestly. Like, every time I've ever watched your gameplay, like, obviously your in-map knowledge is brilliant anyway, but you just have the ability to get into maps so quickly that basically puts you a good few steps ahead of your opponents all the time. So, yeah, I mean, do you practice stuff like pre-planning? I mean, I know a lot of players, sort of roll a spin and sort of actually work on their pre-planning and how quickly they get in. That does seem to be a specialty of yours. Do you put any attention into that, or are you just that good naturally?
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm good naturally. I just practice some spins at times, and then I get better at recognizing what I need to do for the map, and then it just becomes easier to plan. So.
Yeah, teach me, because yeah, I do not have that ability. I'm a slow boy. But no, other than that, yeah, I just want to say honestly, dude, big congrats. Yeah, shame about a few bugs from both sides. I mean, you had a few yourself, but yeah, you boys literally couldn't have been separated on a few of those maps. You were, as Gordy said, just exchanging blows constantly. I mean, Ambrose alone, I mean, what a start. With you getting the explosion kill, I didn't even have to tell you that you had made the wrong kill. You just instantly knew. Then Buff getting an NTK on his loud explosive. It was just wild. So, yeah, big GG, and thanks for putting on a show.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I just say, it's another RR where the person from the lower bracket has won the final. Of course, you went down in the first game, of course, got swept by myself. But you went into the lower bracket and went 6 games unbeaten without dropping a single map. Did your mindset change at all when you went into the lower bracket after your first game?
Well, I've sent you the sheet I make when I go to the lower bracket, but I just make this sheet of potential picks I want to make against my opponents, and then that helps a lot planning out what I need to do to be able to be successful. But I don't really change my approach when it comes to practicing, just map picks and bans. So.
Yeah. Good.
Well done, Joker. You managed to shoehorn yourself in there, so well done.
I know, I surprised myself.
As expected. As expected.
What's new here?
Yeah, Phanium. Any last words? How does it feel to have won your second title here?
I just want to give a shout out to Buff. He's an amazing player. He's a pillar of the community, and I hope he does well in RWC. So I'll see him in the next comp.
I mean, if he's performing as he has this tourney, I'm sure that will be all right. He'll do great. Goes for both of you really. And yeah, what an amazing final again. Congratulations, really. It's very, very impressive tournament from you.
GG's, man. Yeah, a lot of matches as well. An awful lot of matches.
I'm just frustrated I ripped so much, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I think looking at the chat, they had an amazing time as well. So both of you put on a very entertaining show. The maps were great as well. The spins were interesting too. Like it had it all. Pressure, tears, victory. It just had it all. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, Phanium, once again, congratulations. We will be wrapping this up here with the other casters. And of course, guys, we do have another grand final, I believe, later today. Do you know something about that, Mando?
Yeah, I heard the rumor that it was at 8 p.m. CEST over at twitch.tv/Throat7. That's what I heard anyway.
Unconfirmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I heard it's between two pretty good players as well. This In For Fun guy and I genuinely have forgot the other one. I'm gonna say someone tell me quickly because this is really awkward. Now
the other Hungarian.
Danny, that's the fella. Yeah, the Hungarian. I wanted to say Blythe, but that was the lower bracket final, and yeah. It's been a long cast, guys. I mean, and we weren't even the ones playing, so, yeah. It happens.
Exactly.
I was adminning, that's my excuse.
Exactly. So that will be in a little over 7 hours, guys. I hope to see a lot of you in chat to be there again. It's going to be an insane matchup, just as this one. Gordy, Joker, and Mando. I want to thank you guys very much for casting. Amazing job, as always. It's part of the reason why you got picked to cast, right?
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
You did amazing, and and Mando on top of that also was the match admin for this final. So thanks for that as well, Mando. Great job.
My pleasure.
And as always, of course, a shout out to Mr. Mike for the amazing work he does behind the scenes for hit maps, and really all the admins and casters. Everyone involved, really, you're all absolutely amazing. We love you all, and we'll have a different roster for tonight. We will have Barbecue, Oh Shit Man, and Dead Observers. So that's another great roster of casters for the PC final in a little over 7 hours. And I want to thank chat for the turnout as well. I know it was really early for a lot of players, or for a lot of viewers, also for the players, of course. So, it's awesome to see that so many people were excited for this match, and rightfully so. Gordy, Mando, Joker, any last words from you guys before we wrap this up?
Just GG's from me, mate. That was a great match, and I'm looking forward to the lads watching it back and. Enjoying it as a spectator rather than all the stresses and the pains of a player.
Yeah, ditto. G bloody G. Absolutely nothing to say. Bring on RWC. That's pretty much my thoughts. I want more.
Joker, anything? Any last moment to toot your own horn?
No, no, just what Mando and Gordy said. Bring on RWC. I think Phanium and Buff have just shown a really good showing for console, and can actually show that in RWC, a console will be better than what people will think, and these console players will get further than other people think as well, I reckon.
Keep thinking that, lad.
Wow.
Always gotta love the little banter. It's always
It
amazing.
starts now, baby. It starts now.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, everyone, viewers, casters, players, everyone here, big GGs. Thanks for everything, and hopefully see you again in 7 hours and 10 minutes from now for In For Fun, the world champion from 2020 versus Danny Buta, the world champion that's currently reigning of 2021. An Hungarian matchup. It has all the ingredients, right, for an amazing show, and I honestly can't wait. Much love to all of you guys, and yeah, see you in 7 hours.